7 degrees. Our Thursday forecast is calling for some morning low clouds, mainly south of Los Angeles. Skies should clear rapidly with sunshine expected for most of the day. Our daytime temperatures will be pleasant with 70s forecast for much of the Southland. The high Civic Center should be about 72 degrees. And coming up in just a moment, Mark Kriske will have a complete check of our weather. First in the news, baseball great Mickey Mantle is getting a new liver at this hour. Doctors at Baylor University Medical Center in Dallas have been performing a transplant operation all night after finding a suitable donor. Mantle was diagnosed with liver cancer earlier this week. His condition was so severe that doctors said he would need a new liver within a couple of weeks to survive. Mantle was placed high on a waiting list. Late last night, a donor liver was matched, and doctors sent him right into surgery.
He was stable going into the surgery, but he was extremely ill and very high on the list of people needing the organ.
Doctors say Mantle's liver was rendered useless by a malignant tumor. They say 40 years of heavy drinking and a dormant hepatitis infection did not help either. A missing American pilot who we thought might have been captured by Bosnian Serbs has been rescued by U.S. Marines. A NATO commander says 2 Cobra helicopters carrying 40 Marines came under fire as they landed to pick up Air Force Captain Scott O'Grady. He was found overnight in the area where his F-16 jet was shot down by a Serb missile Friday. This morning, Admiral Leighton Smith reported that Serbs fired guns and missiles at the rescue helicopters. Neither of the choppers was hit. When one of the helicopters landed, Captain O'Grady came running out of the woods. He was quickly grabbed by a brigadier general who pulled him into the helicopter.
Last night when we got the final conversation with him, we asked him what his condition was. He said, "I'm good, but I'm ready to get the hell out of here." So I think he was ready to come home. I don't know what he said when he got in the airplane. Generally what occurs in a situation like that is the guy's pretty keyed up, and he probably had a release of tension there, and he probably they tried to wrap him in a blanket and try to keep him calm, give him some water. I understand he was pretty hungry because he even tried to eat an MRE.
O'Grady was airlifted to the amphibious attack ship, the USS Kearsarge, in the Adriatic Sea. The pilot is being examined by doctors who say he is in good condition. Admiral Leighton says O'Grady survived and evaded capture because of guts, determination, and good training. A section of the Santa Monica Freeway, which was repaired following the Northridge earthquake, is now starting to sink. Eric Spillman is in Mid-City with more information on that. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Michelle. Hey, the freeway is sinking, and they don't know why. You remember this overpass over here, Santa Monica Freeway at La Cienega, brand spanking new right now. We'll show it to you from Skycam 5. Of course, it collapsed during the earthquake. They rebuilt it in record time just 84 days later, and the contractor got a big bonus, $14.5 million for finishing early. Well, guess what? Now there's a problem. Caltrans calls it a, quote, depression in the pavement, unquote, and they're not sure what's causing it. Caltrans closed down several lanes of the Santa Monica Freeway overnight. They were working on it all night long, trying to inspect the sinkage. They're going to do the same thing again tonight. No word on what they discovered. We haven't been able to contact them yet. But yesterday, a Caltrans spokeswoman said their theory is that the sinking is somehow related to the earthquake. Could be some type of settling of the earth. It also could be a problem related to drainage. In any case, we want to tell you that the roadway is safe. It is open, all lanes in both directions. And if you're driving to work this morning over the a depression in the pavement, you probably won't notice a thing. They're going to go out again and inspect it once again tonight. Once again, we're talking about the Santa Monica Freeway between Venice and La Cienega, both the eastbound and westbound lanes. And it's been kind of a bad week for Caltrans. They're having other problems with other new construction. The Century Freeway, which cost something like $2 billion to build. Well, they're having problems with drainage on that particular roadway, and they had to close that down earlier this week as well for a period of time overnight. Michelle, back to you.
Eric, have you heard anything yet about how Caltrans wants to approach this problem?
Well, at this point, they're leaving it open. They're leaving the roadway open. They say, once again, it is no danger, no cause for concern for motorists, but they close it down overnight, beginning, I guess, around 11 p.m. Several lanes they close down in each direction. And they keep it closed until 5 in the morning. so that they can get their inspectors out there to see what's causing the problem, and so far we don't have any explanation for it.
All right, Eric, thank you for that report. The jury in the OJ Simpson trial today is due to look at more gruesome autopsy photos. The panel may be shown pictures of victim Ron Goldman after 2 days of graphic testimony about how Nicole Brown Simpson was murdered. The L.A. County coroner reenacted the murder before the jury. He says Nicole most likely died within 1 minute, bleeding from a massive throat wound. The speed of the attack is the key to the prosecution to refute defense claims that Simpson didn't have time to commit the murders.
If you take the doctor and accept what the doctor says about the time it took to do the killing, then if you were applying this to O.J. Simpson, he would have an hour, 50 minutes or so to do such things as dispose of the weapon, change his clothes, clean up to the extent that he could. So it becomes very significant in that regard.
The coroner says Nicole was likely knocked unconscious by her attacker, who then stabbed Ron Goldman to death. Prosecutors theorize the killer then returned to Nicole to deliver the massive, fatal wound to her throat. He says the attack occurred so rapidly that Nicole had virtually no time to fight back. Judge Ito is getting more and more irritated with members of the audience in the Simpson trial. The latest offenders have been caught on tape. The offense, gum chewing. Ito has a standing order against such behavior. He initially threatened to ban the offenders from the court, but then backed off the threat. But later, he called Channel 9's Kimberly Moreau into his chambers to warn her against future gum chewing or eating in court. He also warned the audience against contorting themselves to try to see autopsy photos being shown to the jury. A jet will take off from Van Nuys Airport this morning with the intention of making it to Paris, France in under 12.5 hours. It's the latest attempt by renowned pilot Clay Lacey to break a world speed record. This is the plane he'll be using, a Gulfstream SP. It's a 2-engine corporate-type jet that has been modified with winglets, which are small upright ends of the main wings. Lacey says those are supposed to make the plane fly smoother and faster. Among the crew of 4 is KTLA anchorman Hal Fishman. I bet Jennifer York wouldn't mind getting into a plane like this.
Okay,
Hi,
let me get this clear. Is Hal going to actually go to France with him and back?
I believe so, yes. He is part
Really?
of the crew of 4 people who's going to attempt this speed record.
Isn't that interesting? Wow, he's just going to go to France and back. Wow, that's really neat.
Yeah,
we'll have
that
to look
is.
for that plane this morning. Brad, my pilot wasn't sure about what was going on. So
Well, here's what it looks
must be
like.
brand new.
Yep, and it's going to take off from Van Nuys Airport. So
Wow.
you know where that is.
and at what time are they doing this?
That I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to look for it, Brad. And
I'll try and find out for you.
yeah, I'll have to find out all the knowledge and kind of impress the other pilots at United Beach Bound. Like I really
Yeah,
know what's
right.
going on. You know, we can really calm that laugh down, you know. Good morning, everybody. Let's go out the door, shall we? Rodney wanted to show you the downtown area, so there you go. All righty, we've got a lot going on in traffic. We're going to try to get to. We were just live over Eric Spillman, so we got a little bit delayed there, but we are trying to get to a problem reported on the northbound 405 at Long Beach Boulevard. They're saying a car went up the embankment. Some people are saying it's overturned, so we're going to try to get down there and look at that for you. Again, northbound 405, Long Beach Boulevard, which is a little bit before the 710. We are over the Santa Monica Freeway at the Harbor Interchange. So far, so good for both sides of the Santa Monica Freeway, from the west side all the way over to the Harbor Freeway. We're going to take the Harbor Freeway south and head down into the Long Beach area. I can tell you so far so good for the downtown slot on both sides of the Harbor Freeway. It looks like your northbound Harbor Drive is still a good one, at least past the Coliseum and up into the downtown slot. So far so good for both of these freeways, the 10 and the Harbor Freeway north, especially heading up into the downtown area. Also, a problem reported in the Orange County area on the 5 southbound at Maine. A lot of construction in that area. It goes down to 3 lanes there, so that can really bog your drive down. Apparently, there is something working in the middle lane, southbound side of the Santa Ana at Maine. So we'll try to get down there for you as well. I'm Jennifer York in Skycam 5 with the latest shadow traffic update.
All right, Jennifer,
Okay.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Jim Newman's next with today's top business stories. And a common antidepressant could change the way doctors treat PMS. We'll explain when we come back. Coming up later on the KTLA Morning News, Porgy and Bess live. Also, Tabasco recipes if you like a little spiciness in your food. This will be an interesting segment for you. There's a new cookbook out, and we will have a demonstration of all the kinds of things you can do with Tabasco, including desserts and things like that. Hi there, Jim. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Michelle. Good morning, everybody. Michelle, Porgy and Bess, selections from Porgy and Bess this morning. They're going to actually sing on the program?
I believe so, but they won't be here. I think Gail Anderson will be there.
Down at the
Hollywood Bowl.
Music Center.
Oh, Music Center. Yes,
Down
right.
there?
Pardon
Okay.
me. Yes.
Hey, Michelle, look what it is. Thursday already, huh? Would you believe this week has gone by this fast?
Yes, I can believe that.
I'm sorry I asked. Well, anyhow, folks, good morning. We're looking at this overall stock market, which yesterday was lower by the final bell. The Dow starts this session at 44.62. Bonds down 15 ticks and the dollar higher in New York. U.S. stocks are trading in a mixed pattern overseas so far today. London stocks are higher. Meanwhile, further overseas on the Tokyo stock market, the Nikkei index posted a loss and stocks were sharply lower. The dollar trading just under 85 yen. Ford and Chrysler in the news. Both auto companies will cut production in the third quarter. It's a move to clear cars and trucks from dealer lots following an inventory buildup of late last year. Fewer people online for state unemployment benefits at state unemployment offices. Jobless benefits dropped 7,000 nationwide. The largest decline of any industrial state, though, was right here in California with over 6,000 fewer claims. We had a drop in layoffs in several industries. If you're planning on a vacation, you better think twice about Tokyo, Japan. It's the world's most expensive city for those who pay in dollars. The most expensive U.S. cities, New York and Chicago. By the way, Canadian cities have become cheaper in the past year. Checking now the activity on the COMEX this morning, we're looking at gold. That's down 60 cents. Silver off 2 cents at $5.34 per troy ounce. So there you have it, folks. A look at the business news this morning. On our next report at around 6:45 this morning, we'll have some opening numbers for you. But we're calling for a mixed market opening today. Things could get a bit choppy later in the session. So, Michelle, that's our forecast, and that's a look at business so far today at 6:15 in downtown Los Angeles.
Chicago. I knew New York was one of the most expensive, or the most expensive cities. Chicago surprised me.
Yeah, that surprised the heck out of me, too. Now, I don't know why, because we've got a lot of friends in Chicago, and we shall ask around this morning and check about that. But New York, I agree with you, 100%. The most expensive city in the entire country, bar none.
Yes,
maybe
that's right.
San Francisco runs a close second.
I would think San Francisco would come before Chicago.
But Chicago, I mean, you know, this is like God's country out there, where the buffalo roam, and the skies are not cloudy all day, and things like that.
And everyone is so nice.
And everybody is darn nice in Chicago.
That's right.
It's one of the great cities. You know, Vittorio De Sica, the Italian film director, once told me that looking at this country, he felt that Chicago was the quintessential U.S. city. In other words, it symbolized what this country is all about.
Oh, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim. Thanks so much.
Right. All right.
Coming up, new strides in the fight against AIDS, and Prince Charles gets stuck with a royal tax bill. We'll be right back.
The Business Report brought to you by GTE. It's amazing what we can do together.
In health news this morning, researchers may have found a new use for the antidepressant drug Prozac. They say it's beneficial in treating premenstrual syndrome in millions of women. Doctors in Canada studied some 400 women. Half of those who took Prozac reported a significant easing of their PMS. Symptoms include irritability, tension, headaches, and depression. Doctors now say Prozac could revolutionize treatment of PMS caused by an imbalance of the chemical serotonin. Prozac helps regulate the chemical, but patients have experienced some side effects, including a loss of sex drive and difficulty sleeping. The new study supports earlier research, and many doctors are already prescribing Prozac to severe cases. 1 in 25 women suffers serious symptoms of PMS. There is some progress in the fight against AIDS. Researchers say they found a possible explanation for how the AIDS virus kills uninfected cells within the body. Writing in the journal Nature, the scientists say 2 proteins from HIV causes healthy cells to, in a sense, commit suicide. The researchers say if they can find a way to block that reaction, they could move closer to developing new AIDS treatments. Prince Charles may have to start watching his pounds, not those around his waistline, but the pounds found in his wallet. The heir to the British throne recently received his tax bill, and Prince Charles owes the British government the equivalent of more than $1.5 million. The bulk of the bill comes from holdings in his Cornwall estate. The lofty invoice leaves the prince with only $2.38 million in spendable 94 income. Comedian Roseanne says she is bracing for a huge media circus if she has to go to court to settle the financial details of her divorce from Tom Arnold. In the June 17th issue of TV Guide, Roseanne says her ex-husband is refusing to come to terms on their divorce agreement. Roseanne says she does not understand why, since Arnold has a new career and a new girlfriend. Roseanne is now married to her former bodyguard, and she is 7 months pregnant. The couple has already picked the baby's name, and they're going to call him Buck. It's 6:21, and let's check in with Jennifer York. Hi, Jen.
Good morning. Well, we're making some headway here. We finally got down to this problem. It's actually at Cherry Boulevard on the northbound 405. So if you're planning to leave the Long Beach area, Orange County, and head up to LAX, you will find some delays here. This car literally drove up the right embankment, hit a light pole, and overturned. It was on its roof minutes ago. We've got a tow truck out here, and actually they uprighted the car. It's a little bit to the left of the shot that we're showing you. But as you can see, the collector lane is blocked here from the Cherry on-ramp to the northbound 405. And that is bogging down your drive all the way to the 605. Not a good drive. As you can see, Rodney pulling out here, showing you that commute. That is the northbound 405, where you see that slow-and-go driving. Look at that. Almost a parking lot here. Northbound 405. Because of this problem, it's actually at the end of the Cherry on-ramp to the northbound 405. That right lane still blocked by an earlier overturned car. I imagine with that light pole having been knocked down, they might need to have a utility truck out here fixing that as well. That right lane could be blocked for some time, but we did want to let you know about that, especially if you're expecting a wide open drive, which it normally is at this time of the morning on the 405. Not so back into the 605. You might want to take that 605 northbound from the 405 if you're normally used to taking the 405. Jump up to that northbound 605 and take the West 91 or the West 105. Either of those will work well for you if you need to head over into the West Los Angeles area. Alrighty, we were flying over the Harbor Freeway northbound 110. Looks great this morning. No delays at all through the South Central area all the way up into downtown. We're going to go check on a problem on the southbound side of the 5, the Santa Ana Freeway southbound at Maine. We're hearing the middle lane is blocked there. That's right in the heart of the city of Santa Ana. So we'll check on that for you. We're also hearing about an accident northbound 5 at Avery Parkway. It is on the right shoulder, but could be bogging down your drive out of Mission Viejo. Again, that's the northbound side of the 5 at Avery. I'm Jennifer York at Skycam 5 with the latest shuttle traffic update.
Look how pretty the sun looks through your windows.
Oh, isn't it great?
Yeah, that's great.
It's a good feeling to be up this time of the morning and see the sun. Put you in a good mood.
It's my favorite time of the day.
It is. Mine, too. Yeah. It's when I'm most awake, actually.
Okay, Jen. See you later. Bye. We'll be right back with a surprise sportscaster who will do our sports stuff. Welcome back. It is time for sports stuff, but because Carlos overslept, we thought we'd let our sports writer, Scott Aldrich, do the honors. And Scott, I have to tell you that Ray, our cameraman here in the studio, says he wants a good hockey report.
We have the best hockey report of the week coming up because nobody can do it like I.
Okay.
Have you heard from old Chuck yet?
I believe he's on his way, so we hear.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Mark says he's just stopped off at Burger King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Well, Michelle, in sports stuff this morning, we opened with basketball. An exciting start to the NBA Finals. The Rockets were looking to break a playoff record last night. Houston gunning for its 6th straight win on the road. Pick it up in the 4th. Shaq's little jump hook gave the Magic a 4-point lead. But Houston came roaring back. Kenny Smith beat the buzzer with a 3-pointer. On to overtime. Houston led by 3 with 5 seconds left. That's when Dennis Scott nails the tray. Boom. We're tied at 118. Time winding down. The miss. Hakeem Olajuwon is there for the tip. It goes. The Rockets take game 1. 120-118, the final. All right, switching now to some baseball. Tommy Lasorda was trying to hit a milestone last night. The Dodgers skipper was looking for his 1,500th career victory. L.A. against the Montreal Expos. Hideo Nomo on the mill, looking for only his 2nd win in the big. He wiggled out of a jam in the 1st by whiffing Rondell White. Bottom of the 1st, Raul Mondesi rips one to deep left center. It's gone. 2-0 Dodgers. In the fourth, Tim Wallach doubles off the wall and right. That brought home 2 more runs. The Dodgers complete the sweep, whacking the Expos 7-1. Congratulations to Tommy Lasorda on number 1500. At Fenway Park, the Angels and Red Sox, Roger Clemens back on the hill for Boston. He blows away Tony Phillips right there. He's not too happy about it. In the 7th, Troy O'Leary lines one to center. But Angel catcher George Fabregas forgets to tag the runner. Nice play. All right, in the 8th, Tim Naring doubles into the right field corner. That brings home a couple more runs. And the Bo Sox go on to beat the Angels 5-1.